This is the bizarre story of a young man identified as Joseph Fekala, a youth pastor in Christ Embassy, who murdered a young lady identified as Kate Ogo and buried her in his room. This incident happened on the 28th of July after Kate had gone missing the previous day. Now, the story is that Kate, the victim, was a clothes vendor. She sold clothes and she was friends with this Joseph, the killer. And they both attended the same church, Christ Embassy, where he was a youth pastor. Now, according to the story, Kate sold some clothes to Joseph and he was owing her some amount of money to the tune of 50,000 naira. Now, it's unclear if she borrowed him that amount or it was an outstanding debt from the clothes which she sold for him. Either ways, he was owing her that amount of money and he was supposed to pay her back, which was what prompted her to go to his house to pay him a visit. Kate left her house on the 27th of July and she had told her mother where she was going and what her mission was. And she was supposed to return that same day, but she didn't, which, made her mother worried and suspicious of her whereabouts. After Kate had failed to return home, her mom and her family went straight to Joseph's house because that's where she had said she would be. On getting there, they met Joseph and they inquired about Kate. They asked to know where she was, and he told them that yes, indeed, she had come to his house, but he had paid her the money he was owing her and then she had left. That was a blatant lie, of course, because Kate never left his house. Now, it was said that Kate's mom was not satisfied with that story. She wasn't buying it, and she felt it in her spirit that her daughter was still inside that house. And so somehow they forced themselves inside the house into his room, where they saw an unusual pile of sand right inside his room. Immediately, they raised alarm, and people in the community and around the community gathered around Joseph's house, and they went into his house and they saw the pile of sand and they began digging. Lo and behold, that was not an ordinary heap of sand. That was actually a shallow grave that Joseph had buried Kate in after he had strangled her to death. Immediately, the entire community went into chaos after this shocking revelation. I mean, who would have thought or even ever imagined that a whole pastor, a youth pastor, would be capable of committing murder? Initially, it was speculated that Joseph was a Yahoo boy and that Kate was his girlfriend and he wanted to use her for rituals. But it was later debunked after people confirmed his identity and stated that he was a pastor. And by the way, this event took place in a community known as Okaka in Yenogwa in Bayelsa State. So the police came and they arrested Joseph, but not before Kate's mom beat the living daylight out of Joseph. As you can see in this picture, she's putting something on his face. I don't know if it's the algae, because as you can see, the environment is very swampy, but she gave him a well-deserved beating. Now, I have my own reservations regarding this case, such as the motive behind his actions. Like, you killed somebody because of 50k? That doesn't sound reasonable at all. I mean, how do you kill somebody because of 50,000 naira? You lure her all the way to your house just because you're owing her money, and then you make up your mind to kill her because of that. It doesn't make any sense to me, honestly. So I'm thinking two things. It's either he has been admiring her, he has been wanting her, and then he used the whole him owing her money thing as an excuse to lure her to his house, and then probably tried to take advantage of her, tried to force himself on her, and things escalated and got out of hands, and then, the whole thing led to him killing her. Or probably the whole narrative of him using her for ritual is actually true. Either ways, he has been arrested, he has been apprehended by the police, and investigations are ongoing. And soon we'll get to find out the real reason for what he did, the real reason for him killing her. Anyways, I'm going to keep you guys updated on this story as it unfolds. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post a lot of true crime stories there. And please share this video. Bye for now.